Ranking Asian countries based on how toxic the men are. Alright, I gotta admit, first of all, I'm thinking this girl is getting out way too much. But, like, was this a part of her plan to date every single Asian man? So to start things off in the runaway category, we have top South Korea. Contrary to popular belief, I have not dated an Asian man. Yet. Funny enough, though, from my friends that are girls, they have all said this. Like, I've heard some insane stories about Korean men. And funny enough, these opinions are unanimous. Everybody that has experience with this repeats the same thing. It's, I just wonder, like, damn. I feel like I'm almost like a 0 out of 10 in terms of toxicity. Like, if I'm mad at you, I just need some alone time and I'll feel better in like an hour. The next one on the runaway category, the Philippines. I actually would not have expected that at all. Then Vietnamese and Indian. I have a Vietnamese friend. He's really chill. And then Indian, I just wouldn't know. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, in the husband material, we have Taiwanese or Singaporean. That could just be because they're rich. I don't know. I've seen Crazy Rich Asians. Unhealthy Cambodian men and Japanese men, possibly toxic Bangladeshi and Laotian, safe-ish Thailand and Chinese. And the only green flags, Malaysian and Indonesian. I feel like I trust the green flags a bit more than the husband material because, yeah, like I said, there could be reasons why they're husband material. I, as an Asian man, am able to release potent gas with a lethal dose of 0.3 milligrams. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing about Thailand. Okay, now we just need the full, complete world map tier list of all the men, though. For science purposes, I guess I'll have to be the one to make it. For science. Thank you, Barcelona. Very warm welcoming. This is, a bunch of graffiti with tourists go home. Tourists go home. Now, a lot of people are criticizing this video, saying it looks like it's written by the same person because the font is very similar. And maybe that's the case, but from my own experiences, I saw this literally everywhere in Barcelona. Where is the sign? I have a giant sign. Dude, I kind of want to put them on blast, to be honest. They literally had this giant sign down the street from where I was staying. And to me, that just really rubbed me the wrong way, obviously. Like, for me, when I see international people in my lesser known city in Southern California, I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Thank you for coming. Like, I kind of want to show them, like, hey, check out this place. You should go here. I'm so glad they even stepped foot in my city because I think it's a cool city. So yeah, this stuff just made me really not like Barcelona. Like, this is probably my least favorite part of Spain. I understand there's some political messaging behind this, and maybe they're talking about a specific type of tourist, but still. Visited Barcelona a lot. I must say I get their hate for tourists. It's mainly targeted at Brits, Dutch, Germans who tend to make a scene every time they get drunk. Well, this is so unsettling. Would never work. California could never wake up 3 hours before New York. They'd flail with the idea what to do every morning. The gilding hand of the East Coast, awake, bright, and early before the western sun rises, keeps the entire country from falling into chaos and dysfunction. No, I think you might have a point. Without the East Coast waking up 3 hours before everyone out here, all the way in California, they really kind of do maintain the world. Funny enough, the world kind of goes into chaos when New York is asleep. Good thing the Big Apple never sleeps. It is convenient that the US Capitol and World Stock Exchange both wake up in the earliest time zone in the country. Thank goodness we Californians do not have that responsibility. Our companies are American, our cars are German, our furniture is Swedish, our energy is Arabian, our TV and movies are American, our call centers are Indian, our food is Indian, our phones are Chinese, our suburban homes are American, our commie blocks are Russian, our pubs are Irish, our banks are Jewish, our bacon is Canadian, our doctors are Indian, our tea is Chinese. Why are we so suspicious of anything foreign? I guess this is coming from a Brit himself. I mean, to be fair, is anything truly foreign to them? They pretty much conquered like half the globe, so. Meanwhile, drive-bys in the UK be like, I love that this image is in like 144p quality. I don't know why that makes it so much funnier. This goes hand in hand with the memes that the British don't have gunshots. You just hear like swords parrying in the streets at night. American patriotism has to be the cringiest poop ever. Your country has existed for 250 years. It has no history or culture. None of you actually come from America. You're a bunch of losers who couldn't make it in Europe, so you ran away. I don't think I can argue against this. He got us. A single tear rolls down my cheek as I take a gulp from my $30 69-ounce diet ice cream breakfast tray. It's just the most American thing. I don't know why we eat so terribly. It's kind of disgusting. This French monarch helped the US win our revolution. This French emperor sold the US a third of its territory. This French artist designs the Statue of Liberty to gift to the US. Now what are you gonna do? He's got to keep up with the old French tradition, apparently. It's really funny because on the surface, the US and France have like a sibling rivalry, but they're secret lovers. Well, I should not have used sibling there. Whoops. What have I done? Execute your royalty in a violent revolution. That's how small brain France does it. Shoot your royalty in a haphazard manner in their palace. That's how slightly bigger brain Russia does it. Seize all assets of your royalty and give them a normal job. That's how even bigger brain China did it. Have all 500 royal families promise them an annual payment for giving up their powers, then default on it, withdraw, and finally declare their palaces UNESCO heritage sites to profit off tourism. That's how galaxy brain India does it. I actually was not made aware of this until right now. Fascinating stuff there, India. Yes, just another dub. He's about to say his first words. Per capita. Oh, frick, he's Dutch. Apparently, the Dutch love to use this phrase because obviously they are a smaller country, but considering they're less than 20 million population, they're doing really well for themselves. This goes in line with actually a lot of smaller countries in Europe. Everyone's asking to do the old Spartan treatment here. The time is 2015 or 8:15 p.m. And ooh, look, it's Spain, Italy, Greece, and Portugal. All the Mediterranean nations or Southern Europe. Thank you for brightening our day. Now you can rest, buddy. It has been an honor and a pleasure, guys. Cut to 22:30 or 10:30 p.m. Here's Sweden, Norway, Finland, Denmark, and even the Netherlands. Please go away. Lol, frick you. Cut to 3:25 or 3:25 a.m. Please. Okay, see you in 2 hours. Obviously, depending on your position on Earth, you might get a little bit more sun than you really want. This region of Europe gets about the perfect amount of sun, but obviously the more north you go, it gets more and more disastrous. And we're specifically talking about some of the most northern points of Finland, Sweden, and Norway. In some parts of the year, the sun only goes away for 2 hours. I will never forget that moment when I was in Stockholm, Sweden. I entered a windowless bar at like 5 p.m. and exited around midnight with the sky still looking like this. That did not make any sense to my drunk brain at this moment. Oh, that was the craziest feeling. I didn't even know it did that. Meanwhile, all my other Scandinavian friends were just like, Americans be like, I can drive for 7 hours one way and still be in the same state. Meanwhile, the Canadians, that's nice, buddy. Look at Canada just letting us have our little fun. Do I even want to know how long you can drive and be in the same state in Canada? Or I guess I should say the same province. Honestly, it probably would take you like 3 days to drive through Nunavut. Meanwhile, if you drive for 2 hours in the UK, bread has a different name. Oh, and I cannot possibly imagining missing one exit and finding myself in Hungary. America sucks at trains. Meanwhile, America having the largest rail network globally and the most efficient freight rail system in the world. This is oftentimes why when I watch videos about our bad train system, the narrator will always say passenger trains. Our freight trains, which just carry different things, is absolutely insane. We just don't want to carry people like that. Well, I guess there is a way for people to ride them, but you have to get hired first. Watching a German general analyze the Battle of Kursk on YouTube was not on my 2024 bingo card. Did the Germans not realize the optics of this event? They didn't realize this was going to be a kind of an extremely awkward screenshot. To be fair, this looks like it was just for like German television. It wasn't like all of NATO was just like, hey Germany, do you want to comment on the Battle of Kursk? Of all people, you know it the best when it comes to invading, that is, you know. Meanwhile, a summary of the events that's been going on with Ukraine and Russia recently. Yes, meanwhile, NATO, Germany, and I think that's the EU or the US just kind of watching, basically. But yeah, there you go. That's kind of our reaction. A little bit awkward for NATO to be watching that. But of course, I like how the Germans are having a great time. If unicorns actually existed, they'd probably be on Australia, and that horn would be highly venomous, and we would despise them. The Australians would probably lose a war against them even, with much greater casualties than just the Emu War. You're stuck on a 20-hour flight with them. Where do you sit? I love these memes. I didn't know they were going to make a Durnil version of this meme, though. All right, so let's see. We can't sit in this row because this is just an Italian guy. Yeah, French, Tunisian. We can sit here in 1 or 5. Now, for me, I always love aisle seats, so I will kind of keep that in mind. Unless I have to sleep, then I try to put my head on the window seat. 3 sounds really fun, to be in between the Mexican man and the Spanish dude. I'm leaning towards that, even though I hate the middle seat. Oh, I just realized that this is the walkway. This is a window, and then this is a window. Oh, crap. I want to be in between these two. Okay, so I can sit in between France and Spain. I can sit on the aisle. Sit in between Italy and Mexico. Okay, so 5 would be nice. Get the window seat with, I don't know who these two are. There's 9 in the middle, with between a Saudi, I believe, and an Egyptian. 2 looks nice. Gotta say, 2 looks pretty nice. 4 is not bad. Oh, that would be really fun to sit next to a Portuguese guy and a Brazilian dude. I don't know, about 6 or 8. I'm gonna have to say, well, Slovenia, what? Honestly, I think I'm picking 4, to be honest. I think 4 just because of the aisle. 7 seems chill. I could probably sleep here. For maximum chaos, though, 1 would be fun. I'm just saying that would be really fun to talk to these two. 1 is literally the nation of Andorra. Also my choice. Very good point. They've been literally sitting in that seat for decades. Big thanks to my patrons this month. I tried to kidnap Drew again, but he put me in his basement. Help. Drew's Argentinian Grandpa. I can't sleep without Drew's voice. Nord, Tiger, Archaeology, aPhatNarwhal, Carmel, Sarsath, Connor DaBeautiful-MEGAN-Underwood, Fredrik Tibblin, JohnDenver, KingBearHaze, LuxembourgLover, sebby. If you hear this,